What's that?
Betty. Join us in the pledges. I've asked Betty Griner to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the October 26, 2017 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who had an explosive Wednesday afternoon, and represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let's get started. First item of business, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Questions or comments? There were 4 items on the consent agenda today.
I do not have any questions. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda as published by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,105,416.85. The highlights out of the voucher report are our Capers contributions of $377,466.97, solid waste expenditures of $186,289.89, then Shawnee County the Department of Corrections with $117,818.82. State of Kansas holding accounts, $117,392.35, and finally Public Works with $78,282. I have no questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
There are no correction orders today.
Next item, please.
Item B, facilities maintenance. Number 1, consider approval of request to award bids and authorization and execution of the following contracts for 1 year. A, contract C374-2017 for painting with T.D. Wilson at $26 per hour, regular and after-hours pricing, and 10% markup for materials. B, contract C375-2017 for electrical with Torgerson Electric at $33 per hour for laborer, $33 an hour for laborer, $43 an hour for apprentice, $54 an hour for journeyman, $60 an hour for foreman, and $62 an hour for manager. Materials markup of 8 to 15%, overtime 1.5 to 2%. C, contract C376-2017 for mechanical, HVAC, and plumbing with Central Mechanical at $72 per hour rate, overtime of $94, materials markup of 20%. And D, contract C377-2017 for trenching with Torgerson Trenching with various pricing options per submitted bid on RFP.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facility Maintenance Director. These items are, we went out for RFP as the trade services contracted would be ending this month, and these are the same 4 providers that we originally had when we started this program last year. All of them came in at either lower prices than they had last year or at the same. I would recommend that we go ahead and approve them. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions for Mr. Kroll?
I don't have any.
I don't either.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Bill. Next item, please.
Item C, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to award the bid for the purchase of 12,000 tons of sand to be utilized for snow and ice control to LBB LLC at a cost of $6.25 per ton, with a financial impact of up to $75,000 with funding from the 2017-2018 Public Works Road Maintenance Fund, Monmouth and Grove Townships Roadway Fund, and the Facilities Management Operational Budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is the Public Works item, and as noted, we went out for bid for sand, which we will use for ice and snow control. We did receive 2 bids. In similar fashion to what we've done in the past several years is LBB LLC has a stockpile of sand that has been mined from the river. However, they do not have the capability of loading it onto our trucks, so what we've done, so their price reflects not loading it. So what we've done is, as we've done in the past, is calculated what it would take for our own forces to have the equipment out there and load the trucks, and to come up with an equivalent price per ton and compare it, so we can compare apples to apples to the other bid. Doing that, their bid was $625 ton for the material. When we add in our cost to load it, we would get an equivalent price of $7.13 per ton, so it still would be lower than the other bid price. And the way we've been doing it, like this, the past several years has worked out very well, so it is our recommendation that we continue to do it, and it is our recommendation that we award the bid to LBB LLC. So if there's any questions? One thing I do want to note is you may have noted that in addition to the funding sources, Shawnee County Facilities Management Operations, we are going to be providing salt and sand mix to our facilities department so they can use that for their work on parking lots and that nature. So even though their amount will be very small, they may be paying for just a small portion of any sand we purchase. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions about the bid and purchase?
None, it was covered.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item C2, consider approval of request to award bid to Summit Truck of Kansas City for purchase of 2 new dump trucks and appurtenances at an estimated cost of $259,654 from the previously approved Capital Equipment Reserve Fund.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. This would be a Public Works item also, and as noted, we went out for bids for 2 new dump trucks and appurtenances. We received 4 different bids from 3 different bidders. One bidder submitted 2 separate bids. After reviewing the bids, it is our recommendation or our belief that Summit Truck is provided the best bid. They weren't necessarily the low bid. There was one bidder that was, I think, $1,900 lower. However, for any repairs, we would have to bring our vehicles to Kansas City, and what that would entail is having 2 staff members drive there, come back, and then drive there again to pick them up and then come back. We feel that that minimal difference would easily be recouped by being able to have the repair work done locally. So it is our recommendation that we award the bid to Summit Truck for the amount of $259,654, which reflects the trade-in allowance for our older vehicles. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Questions?
No, I don't. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Bueller, and that was seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next item, please.
Item D, Health Department, number 1, consider approval to reclassify and fill the Public Information Officer position to the Community Health Outreach and Planning Division Manager position at an annual salary including benefits of $75,025, and to fill any position that becomes vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oakes from the Health Department. This request is to reclassify the Public Information Officer to the Community Health Outreach and Planning Division Manager and to fill this position. I believe we are at a crucial moment in our county's history when it comes to public health. We've heard how unhealthy we are through various sources. The most notable was the county health rankings released last March.
We know we have several serious health issues in our community, for example, obesity, adult smoking, and the sexually transmitted infection rate, which were the main drivers of our ranking. So what can we do about these problems? There's a lot of good work already happening in Shawnee County. I believe we're ready to take that work to the next level. Public health is a topic at many of the community meetings, working to make Topeka and Shawnee County a more attractive place to live and work. As you heard at the last Board of Health meeting, the Topeka Community Foundation is starting a community health initiative in early 2018. Heartland Healthy Neighborhoods continues to work on multiple issues. Momentum 2022 is starting their work. The person in this position will be helping with these and other efforts as we move forward. You've heard me stand here and talk about many different programs. We do a good job of helping people get shots, receive WIC benefits, do home visits, and inspect child care, as well as other programs. This position will be working on the health of the community as a whole, and not just individual health. I also believe the health department is one of the best kept secrets in town. We need help to get the word out about what we do and how to live a healthier life. The person in this position will be helping make us more visible in the community. Not too long ago, you asked me, what is health? And I said, health is everything. And I still believe that. Health is essential for individuals and a community to have good quality of life. The health department is ready to help Topeka and Shawnee County move forward with both improving individual and community health. And with this position, I think we can make a good start on that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about it.
Are there questions for Linda this morning?
No, well said. I move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Yeah, it was well said, and I had a number of questions, and you just answered them all.
Great.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Linda.
Commissioner.
Next item.
Item E, Sheriff's Office, number 1, considered authorization and execution of contract C-378-2017, memorandum of agreement with the Kansas 911 Coordinating Council and the Sheriff's Office, authorizing the implementation of the statewide Next Generation 911 System, NG 911, to enhance the emergency call-taking capabilities at a cost of $246,305.68 per year, with funding from the 911 funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Rabb, Shawnee County Emergency Communications. Thank you for your time. I come this morning to ask for your consideration to approve the MOU for the next-gen state-hosted 911 system within Shawnee County. The adoption and implementation of this system would further propel our 911 center within this county forward by bringing a host of new technology at the fingertips of our communication specialists. That technology would include geospatial locating, which will help enhance individuals in the call. So when we place a call from a wireless device, the enhanced location will now be able to narrow down where that individual's location is. Instead of many meters, it could be just a few meters, helping us get help and public safety officials to that location immediately. Secondly, it will add interoperability with other state-hosted counties. So that also allows us, if something big happens in Shawnee County and our call volume becomes such that we are having problems handling the 911 calls, if we have in place preparations, we can actually have neighboring counties help handle our call volume. And there's a host of technology that will also allow them to almost operate as if they were looking within Shawnee County on their maps. That also includes and helps increase the continuity of operations within for our backup center as well. And finally, it would bring a new feature, text to 911, which is a benefit to those various applications for those that could have impairments or those that simply can't make a call for whatever reason. They can now text, or would be able to text, a 911 message to our communication specialists. But I want to stress that all of these functions that I've just addressed, they will only occur after the implementation within Shawnee County would happen. I'm available for whatever questions you may have.
Are other counties signing up for this?
Many counties, Commissioner. There is a map, matter of fact, I have it here. Right now, the majority of Kansas, if you can see this map, those counties that are in green are currently on the next-gen system. Those that are in a red color or blue are in the queue to adopt the system, and those that are in a purple are interested. So the majority of Kansas appears that in the future it could be on the next-gen system, which would enhance and combine interoperability across the state.
And when is the projected implementation date?
Discussions that we have had right now place us first quarter of 2018. That hinges, of course, on agreements and us and moving forward today.
Okay. Commissioner Cook?
From a public standpoint, the texting to 911, I think, would be the one that would probably gather most people's attention as a new
Yes.
feature. I mean, a lot of the others are interoperational or with the communication specialist, but from the public's perspective, the 911 application to be able to text to, if we start our implementation in 2018, when would the public potentially start to see that applicability?
We would have to make an effort within our community to make that announcement. You will see broadcasts throughout the state saying that text to 911 is available. That is only in the counties that have implemented the next-gen system. So it's important to stress that it will not be available within Shawnee County until after this has been implemented and fully operational. It would be in ideally the first quarter of 2018 timeframe.
And is this going to require us to purchase new equipment for the dispatching so that they would have the capability of having the 911 texting?
No, and that's the beauty of this, is the price tag that you see includes all of the equipment, the technical maintenance that goes along with it, and everything. We would be actually removing the burden from the county, per se, and moving it to the hosted system and the outside agency that would be running it. So the technical piece would be on somebody else at this point in time. Firmware, hardware upgrades are all included in that price.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for Jeremy this morning?
I do have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Bueller.
This is the amount per year?
Yes, ma'am.
Per year?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I just want to make sure that everybody sees that price tag.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
pretty large.
Yes, it is large, and we are currently looking at using 911 funds
Right.
for that. But it is, in my opinion, ma'am, this is definitely a step in the right direction for every citizen and person that passes through this county.
Well, and it, about the continuity of operations and all that,
Absolutely.
but then the increased security, the cybersecurity as well. So this has lots
Yes.
of different functions. So,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree
absolutely.
completely. I'll move approval of the contract.
I'll have just a quick question.
Yes, Commissioner.
On the 911 funds, we have a price tag of $246,305.86 a year. Does this represent a cost savings to the county in addition to, when we look at the equipment purchase and or overall cost that we're right now having with 911?
Yes, in the future it will, absolutely, Commissioner. For us to pursue a package like this on our own and develop a system that would be comparable to perform the level of service that we will get would be, I can't give you a figure, but it would be much, much higher than the price that we're paying per year there.
So by having this, we have the same system that the rest of the state would be adopting, so you have continuity across the state as well as a cost savings to the county.
You bet.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. And I think Commissioner Cook was getting at, are there efficiencies such that the expense overall will be reduced by the $246,000? Or are we paying more for improved service?
There are numerous things that we would see. For instance, we currently pay approximately $90,000 a year for what we call the trunk 911 lines that come into our center. That would eventually come out of our 911 budget as the rollover would happen to this, and we would have those included in this price tag.
Okay.
And on top of that, Commissioner, again, Commissioner Bueller hit upon it, the interoperability, the continuity of operations, and the cyber piece is very large. We're now bringing in and using assets that have a lot of money and focus on all the threats that are out there to protect and put up the firewalls. It's a tremendous deal.
Okay, okay.
And then just one
Yes,
final question.
Of course.
As we look at a standardized system across the state, how will this apply towards our hiring of communication specialists? I mean, are we now going to see, if you're working in one part of the state and move to Topeka, Shawnee County, that you're already going to be familiar with the system that you're working with?
There will be familiarity, yes. However, there are certain systems, computer-aided dispatch systems that counties use that do vary. So the answer is yes and no, partially, Commissioner. There will be some familiarity with the system, so we could see dispatchers coming from western Kansas who have some understanding of the system and would be ahead of that learning curve. Absolutely.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you for the explanation, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Next item, please.
Item F, corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request for out-of-state travel for 3 employees to attend the 15th International Conference of Positive Behavior Supports on March 28th to the 31st, 2018, in San Diego, California, at an estimated cost of $3,900 for the 3 attendees, with funding from the 2018 budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Stephanie Ron, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. We are requesting to send 3 staff to San Diego to attend the PBS conference. Our agency has been selected to present our PBS findings at the conference. The department has the funds in the 2018 budget. We have completed the training reports and will complete the travel report upon our return. The importance of PBS in our organization is to help to change the behavior of the juveniles in our custody by recognizing and rewarding the positive behaviors we want to see in them. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions for the captain? Yes, Commissioner Cook.
What are some of the things that we've implemented that we're going to be demonstrating at the conference?
We're really there to present on our data that we've collected over the past year and a iPad application we use to reward the behaviors that we see in the juveniles. And through that, we collect data to maybe target areas that they're struggling in, as far as maybe not following the rules, specifically the way we demonstrate it in certain areas. We can gather that from the iPad application and then put more supports in that area to help change that behavior. That's what we'll be presenting on.
And are we seeing results in the Shawnee County Department of Corrections?
Yes, we are, sir.
Okay.
Specifically, what does that data show us?
Well, it shows us how often the juvenile engages in the positive behaviors we're looking to see, where it is they're displaying that behavior, what area, what specific area in the facility. Are they repeating that behavior on a regular basis? Are we enforcing that enough to make a long-term effect on them? Are there areas that they're not engaging in those positive behaviors? And again, how we can target those behaviors and help alter those in the long term.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, Commissioner Bueller.
Congratulations on being invited to present. That's an honor in
Thank you,
and of
Commissioner.
itself. So I'll move approval.
Second.
Yeah, very good. It is an honor. Motion to approve by Commissioner Bueller, and that was seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item, please.
Item G, County Counselor. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 379-2017 with Helping Hands Humane Society, allocating $130,000 to shelter, feed, and to the extent necessary, dispose of stray dogs, cats, and other small animals, as well as dangerous animals at large in Shawnee County.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jonathan Berzon, Assistant County Counselor. During this year's budget hearings, you did allocate this $130,000 to Helping Hands Humane Society. This is the same contract, other than the dollar amount, that we've had for the last couple of years. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'll move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item G2, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 380-2017 with TARC, Inc., allocating $970,685 to provide certain specified social services to the residents of Shawnee County in 2018.
Jonathan Berzon, Assistant County Counselor. Same as the last. This is a budgeted item from this year's budget, same as last year's agreement.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item H, Administrative Services. Number 1, update on revenues and expenditures.
Good morning. Betty Griner, Director Director of Administrative Services. There we go. I am here this morning to give you the financial overview as of September 30. And as I mention most times, this is a snapshot view as of that date. But I will go over the revenue side and then the expenditure side. We will start with revenues. The year-to-date revenue as of September 30 totals $97,662,409. Our budget for that same time period is $97,650,753. So although some are over budget, some are under budget by category, that is, we are over budget by $11,656. So you can't get much closer than that on a $100 million estimated budget. So I will go over each category individually, but this chart really shows the different categories and the impact of the total. I mean, you can definitely see that the blue at the bottom is property taxes, and that is the largest share of revenue that we receive. The first category that we'll look at is property tax revenue. We have received $79,430,063. This is actually $452,000 under what we had budgeted or estimated. We did receive a small distribution in the month of September, which didn't make a large impact on this variance. But although that is a large amount of money, this chart really shows that when you really look at the difference here between the two columns here, percentage-wise, that's not a large percentage in difference here. The next category is our other tax revenue. We've received $9,389,261. That's $102,000 under budget, and that is mostly just from the state highway tax that has come in lower than the state had estimated this year. Our next category is property-related fees. We've received $1,487,741. That is $388,000 over what we had estimated, and that is all with mortgage filings in the Register of Deeds office. But I will point out, if you look at last year's, through this time period last year, we had received $1,686,000. So we are $200,000 less than last year, as we expected, because of the change in the statutes on how those fees are paid. The next is charges for services. We've received $3,676,907. That is $576,000 under budget, and that's mainly from three departments. Parks and Recreation is $367,000 under budget, but you'll also notice when I get to the expenditures are under budget on expenditures by about the same amount. Department of Corrections is $140,000 under budget, and then the sheriff's process fees are $54,000 under budget. The next category is other revenue. We've received $3,678,437. That is $824,000 over estimate, and that's mainly because our investment income is up and also the defeasance revenues that we received. So this is our pie chart that shows the percentages that we receive in the different categories, and you can see that property taxes account for 81% of our revenue, other taxes are 10%, property-related fees 1%, charges for services 4%, and then miscellaneous is also 4%. Okay, any questions on the revenue before I go on? Okay, on to the expenditure side. We have spent year-to-date $77,628,026. This chart shows the different categories and, kind of the portion that was spent on each of those categories. Our budget for the same time period was $79,466,000. So we are $1,838,000 under budget as of right now. I'll go through the different categories and how some of these categories will change throughout the rest of the year. That I do not expect us to end with that large of a variance at the end of the year. Okay, the first category is public safety, and you can see by this that we have spent $31,837,154 in public safety. That is $791,000 under what we had budgeted, and that is coming from that variance is mainly from two different departments. The Department of Corrections is $163,000 under budget, and the Sheriff's Office is $612,000 under budget through this time period. Now, we have seen some expenditures from the Sheriff's Office in October, so this number will start changing in October and the rest of the year. Next category is public health. We have spent $8,263,591, and that is $14,000 over budget. The next is administrative services. We have spent $8,964,853. That is $638,000 under budget. There's the main areas of that. The first is our contingency funds are $694,000 under budget of what we had estimated. Now, there are some expenses that are coming up that will come out of that contingency, or that we will be asking to come out of that contingency that will decrease that. The IT department is also $164,000 under budget, and I'm showing that the elections department is $124,000 over budget based on my estimates. The next category is public works, and they have spent $6,343,395, and that is $79,000 under budget. Parks, Recreation, and Expo Center, we have spent $12,296,031. That is $336,000 under budget, and that's where I mentioned that Parks and Rec was under on the revenue, but they're also under budget on their expenditures. And the next category is debt service. We have spent $9,923,002, and that's $5,500 under budget. So this chart here shows each category, and one of the things I think this chart shows well is it really shows the difference between the green, which is last year's expenditures, and the blue, which is this year's, and in the different categories. And you can see in this that in the public safety category, we have spent $2 million more through September 30, 17 than we did in 16. The next one that you notice that on is here with Parks and Recreation, and in that category we spent about $1.5 million more in 17 than we did in 16. Then in administrative services is the other one that shows an increase, and that's about an increase of $1 million, and that is due to the additional $1 million that we put into the capital outlay fund in 17 compared to 16. Then you'll notice these other areas, like the public health is pretty flat, public works, and debt service. All these other categories are very flat. So I think this chart shows that well, and to compare the two. Then this is just our pie chart that shows the different expenditures in each category. 41% was spent on public safety. Public health is 11%, administrative services 11%, public works is 8%, although I will mention that does not include the sales tax expenditures or the federal exchange monies. Parks, Recreation, Expo is 16%, and then debt service is 13%. Now, last month, when we paid our debt service, that showed that was 14%. So although we've paid all of our debt service for the year, the other expenditures continue to increase, so that percentage will go down. Like I said, it was 14% last month, it's 13% this month, and that will decrease throughout the rest of the year. So, do you have any questions?
Are there questions for Betty?
I don't. Okay, well, if there's no questions, I have one announcement that I am very pleased to make. Moody's has upgraded our bond rating for Shawnee County's GO bonds to an AA1. The highest rating possible is a AAA. AA1 is right below that. So it was increased from an AA2 to an AA1. And their report, I'll just read right from their report. It says, the upgrade of the GO rating to AA1 reflects the county's strong fiscal management and improved available fund balance. The rating also reflects the county's large and moderately growing tax base, institutional stability from the state capital and county seat, City of Topeka, and manageable debt and pension burdens. It lists the credit strengths as trend of operating fund surpluses resulting in significantly improved reserve levels, institutional stability provided by the state capital, which is also the county seat, and no near-term plans to issue additional general obligation debt. So I am pleased to announce that to you. I think it's a very good thing for the county. It will help us with our bonding in the future and to keep our rates as low as possible. Very good.
It is very good. That is a big deal. Thank you, Betty. I did want to, I think this is a good time to remind all department heads, all elected officials, and all appointed officials that no one has the authority to overspend their budget. And I think that it would be a very good idea that everyone keep an eye on their budget for the remainder of the year. So, again, thank you, Betty.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, Inspector of Venue Management in the Kansas Expo Center. We're getting very excited for the Professional Armed Forces Rodeo, getting ready to kick off tonight. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight, Friday and Saturday. And then we're also extremely excited for the Acacia State Volleyball Championships, which start bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30, and then 10 a.m. on Saturday. I will also tease that we have a new event announcement coming up on Monday of next week, with a pre-sale starting on Wednesday and on sale starting on Friday. I know we won't have a commission meeting to announce that at, but I'll tease it. It takes place over ice, so we're maximizing our ice time that we have there at the facility. So it should be something that the community is very, very excited to see. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you for the report, Kellen.
Commissioners, Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. A couple of things. I did want to mention that our mill and overlay project on Northeast 46th Street from Meriden Road to K4, we did complete that last week and got it striped. So that project is complete, and if you get a chance to drive over it, I think our crews did a wonderful job. Then also, as it was alluded to at the beginning of the meeting, we did have a pretty exciting afternoon, a split second of an afternoon yesterday. And this is, I think, from the Capital Journal's website. They were out there taking the video. So if you weren't there, which most of you weren't because we didn't publicize it very much, this will give you an idea of what we did see. Although, I tell you, what makes it the split second pretty exciting is when the ground shakes.
Thank you.
After you see it. But you won't see that here, but anyway, Mark's going to help me here, so you can see what we saw yesterday. And just like that, it's gone. We nearly missed it. They do a horn blast, like a couple minutes before the blast, and then a minute before the blast. Where we were standing was upriver quite a ways, and we couldn't hear that horn, so we were looking at our clocks, and all of a sudden we look up, and then boom, and then we see a flash, and then it goes. So we nearly missed it ourselves.
Look at the middle piece, if you kind of, after it blows. And then see the middle at the top of the screen, how it's slowly falling.
And the good part is the new bridge is still standing.
Yeah, and that little piece didn't go into the new bridge.
But that's kind of an end of an era. It's almost kind of surreal
Yeah, it
seeing
was.
it when you're out there, and because you see the flash, and then all of a sudden, then you hear the sound, and then you feel the ground shake, and it's really something else. So,
That's pretty well.
anyway, it was a good day, and it ended up being a beautiful day to be on the river. So, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
And I know all our media friends were down there too. I think Eric got a few scrapes and yeah, but it was good. Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. And Luke was down there too, so it's a good day.
Can't keep a secret from those guys, that's for sure. Anyone else for administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Cook?
Saturday, noon, lake, trout fishing stocking. And while we don't have a meeting on Monday, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be commissioners on ice.
Oh my goodness, no.
Although that would draw a lot of revenue to Pekin, Shawnee County, and the Expo Center. Commissioner Bjorn?
Looking forward to some volleyball this weekend, so
Very good.
it's always fun to watch. 5A and 6A, correct, Kellen? Ready to go. So, yeah.
Very good, thank you. We don't have a meeting on Monday, so we will be back here on Thursday. Have a nice weekend. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need for an executive session, so we're officially adjourned. Thank you for coming this morning.